What is going on, everyone? It is Austin, and I thought we're about due for another P&L exposure on my part. So I'll show you guys how the month has been shaping up. And it looks like this. It doesn't look great, but I'll point out a couple of things here. This at the start of the month was the tail end of that 12-day win streak, and then that came to a grinding halt um, about right here. This day was super frustrating. Multiple trades that I let uh, come back to bite me. I was up green on three or four trades in the several hundreds, all of which came back in a nasty way. Um, so just totally botched there. Friday, another day where I overtraded but rallied back to not get hurt too bad, and then Monday absolutely blowing up over the weekend. I remember writing down a lot of stuff there, and then on Monday all of that totally blew up, and then on Tuesday, that's when I recorded and I went live Tuesday and went on that whole rant about how I'm gonna change my ways and really hone in on that risk management and basically just put an end to the over trading once and for all. Since then, I have been able to do that. So Tuesday was really the beginning of kind of this new era of kind of the risk management side of the trading, and basically me telling myself to uh, basically get my shit together on the risk side of things. So, from here on out, that's, nothing's going to change there. It'll be basically a two trade max with the option of a third trade um, from now on. I mean, I don't see any reason why that should really honestly ever not be enforced. It's true that um, most of the days where I do well, it is really where I only take one or two trades and kind of hammer it right away. And if those first two trades just don't go my way, it tends to be the case that action just gets worse from there. There's really no reason to keep just digging a hole. And on Monday, it's one of those days where I overtraded and I wasn't able to battle back, and it did just only get worse. And so I'd like to see this be the last time that something like that happens, although this isn't the first time that I've said that this should be the last time, if you know what I mean. So, um, all I can do is move forward from that, and you guys know in the Discord and all that that I posted everything. On Monday I said, I admitted that I overtraded. I was transparent about my P&L. I mean, you guys are seeing it now here, even if you didn't know. But then Tuesday was that no trades day, that rant day where I said we're putting an end to all that. And so yeah, since then, been definitely much better on the risk side of things. Wednesday, we dug the hole deeper, but I was able to keep it to just two trades, which were both relatively, 700 divided by two. They're both, about 6 or 7 point losers. So you know the trades themselves, the entries were not that great and all that, but at least we were better on the risk side of things, getting out of those trades when we needed to, and then just calling it a day at that point. Um, Thursday, I remember the first trade was a scratch trade. The second trade was a really nice short that went for 14 points or so. And then I did take the option for the third trade, I believe, which ended up being it says two trades. I'm pretty sure there were actually three. Um, and then that third one didn't really go our way, and I did take the L on that, but still came away with profit on the day. So again, just calling it there, right? No reason to just keep trading and just trying to get that back. So I've been trying to really kind of depart from trading the P&L. And then here on Friday, if you guys know, that was my most frustrating day of the month so far with the futures. It says 9:20. I made an equities trade. I joined in on that afternoon squeeze on BBBY and went in with some pretty hefty size. And because I am very familiar with just the whole momentum stock and meme stock and and when I see something I like on the chart, plus, I looked up the metrics on BBBY. It was like still like 45% short float, a much smaller float than some other names like AMC that are in the meme stock space, and um, it just couldn't quite seem to sell off. And I like the fact that usually when those ones just kind of bull flag and stick around, that kind of tells me that the move's not done. So I jumped in at just under $12 and rode that one up to like 13 bucks. And anyway, so I actually kind of redeemed myself on Friday on the equity side of things. But if you remember and you watched the stream on Friday, you remember that on the futures side of things, um, it was very, very disappointing. I got a really good entry long off the open on a dip, was up on the trade, like, over 10 points, let it come all the way back, stopped out break even, then boom, bought the dip again, was right back in. I held through news, which was a huge, huge, huge mistake, embarrassingly terrible mistake. I've talked in the past about how you really just should never be in a position when news is coming out, and I dropped the ball, forgot about the news, and dropped the ball there, and then got back long and in another good spot, was up on the trade 10 points, and then it came all the way back down. And so, not taking profit really burned me many, many times. And Friday was one of those times. And then, right after I got out of that second long, stopped out, basically break even, and it shot right back up, and ES went for 60 points for the rest of the day. So that was really, really tough. But it was nice to see that the analysis actually played out. Both of those longs would have been good, and my priority next week is going to be definitely working on, taking profit and being better in that sense. But anyway, you see where I'm at on the month. It is, I think the whole month right now just chalks up to down 1,000, I think, on the month. So by no means is it good, but I do feel like in the last few days, since Tuesday, being better on that risk side, that's really the main thing, right? The strategy, the analysis, taking profits, all of that, I definitely need to continue to work on as well. Um, but I think the main thing is if we can just eliminate these kind of big blow up days, those are days that really, really hurt any kind of forward progress and make it very difficult to grow your account when you constantly have these large setbacks very close together. Really nasty stuff. So I'm hoping that the two trades max, putting stops where they belong, predefined risk, all of that should help get rid of days like this and just prevent over trading. And so that is and always should be priority number one is risk management and not having those big blow up loss days. That's always been the thing that just sets me back the most is those big loss days. So if I can eliminate that, that's priority number one, and not even necessarily, having these days where I make a lot of money. That's not really the goal. And it should always be management, protection against these big blow up days. So anyway, going forward, I want to continue to be good at that. At least I was able to finish off the week in a somewhat strong fashion. I mean, by no means was it anything spectacular, but it was uh, more careful, more calculated, and still tinkering with the strategy and getting better at trade management. And but yeah, I mean, these last few months trading futures, the whole experience in general, it's really been a humbling experience. I feel like um, I feel like I'm a rookie again at trading. I feel totally um, like I'm just figuring stuff out. And a lot of people have asked, why are you even doing this? Why are you trading futures when, you traded equities for years and have, a great track record doing that. And then on Friday, I just jumped right back into the equities, had a really nice trade. I mean, yeah, it's obviously I asked that question to myself as well, but there is I've talked about those incentives with futures trading, and I think getting good at that over the long run is probably worth it. But um, I just feel like it is something that I can get good at. Again, it's days like this where I come away with zero profit on the futures side, even though I had two trades that both went 10 points in my favor, and I'm just not able to take those profits off. So, it's just those things I need to get better at is just taking the profit while it's in front of me. And um, so anyway, I really am excited to see what next week brings. I want to talk about a couple things going into next week. I did fund a tradovate account. Right now, the account shows that I don't have a balance in there, but it I got an email that said I was funded. I need to like pay for market data or something, and I'm kind of wondering like but my whole point of switching to Tradovate was to get away from the super high commissions on thinkorswim. But then thinkorswim right now, I'm like $6.60 per round trip, per futures contract round trip. Tradeovate's like $4.20, so it is saving a lot. But then on top of that, you have the market data that you're paying for every month, which I kind of forgot about. So I'm a little confused. If it's actually going to end up being a good deal based on, however much the market data fee is per month. Um, feels feels like it might end up being roughly the same, if not more. So I'm a little confused with that. But I called them, left them a voicemail today, but it is a Sunday. But anyway, so I'll be trading in Tradovate, and but I'll keep the monitor up on thinkorswim. I really like the charting on there, so I'll continue to use thinkorswim, just taking executions in Tradovate to get that better commission. um, and anyway, so I'm gonna do that, and then a lot of times the futures are kind of slow, so what I want to experiment with is when that's the case, when it's choppy, instead of just watching the futures all day and just watching the chop, want to see if I can just kind of dabble back into the equities side of things. And I know a lot of people say focus on one thing at a time, right? Pick equities, pick futures, but focus on one thing at a time. And so I totally hear that and understand that, but I do kind of wonder on those chop days and on those slow days if I could switch back over to equities and find something that's moving like a lot nicer that I might be able to ride momentum in and definitely, I'm thinking about dabbling back into the equities, especially now that I can do futures trading in a separate account. I can still look at futures on thinkorswim, and if I see something I like, right? If I get, I write my plan every morning, so usually I write something like, I'm looking for a dip, prices to dip into this level, where then I would bid. So, if I'm just waiting for that, maybe I can flip over to equities and try to see if there's something there that I like, and then still kind of monitor futures, and then like maybe pick up a contract long in my Tradovate account, and yeah, I mean being in two trades at once is never easy, um, but with good risk management, I think it could be fine. But it might be something that I experiment with, but maybe not. But anyway, so I'm playing with ideas like that. And then I'm also not really counting out the possibility of me doing a you know going through that process of getting a funded account. I did get contacted by um, a prop trading company or futures education company uh, that was, wanting me to do their program and make a video on it. And so I'm in contact with them. We may set that up, but um, anyway, for now, that's the plan. Next week, I want to continue to trade futures in my new Tradovate account, and just again hammering that risk management. That's number one, and then number two, getting better at the entries and especially those exits. Taking the profits when they're in front of me, identifying chop early, or spots where we might have chop and spots where we might have more trending moves, and just staying very nimble, and then looking for spots where things are a little bit slower, where I might be able to kind of dabble back into the equities as well. So anyway, that's kind of the plan for next week. Let me know what you guys think. And yeah, I was thinking about whether or not I was going to stream tomorrow. I guess I will stream tomorrow morning. I don't know, it's still pending because I need to get in contact with tradovate if I'm going to trade in that account. I guess I need market data and they need to get back to me on that because anyway, there's just some confusion there. But anyway, yeah, catch the streams next week. I will definitely be streaming at least some of the days of the week. So it'll be the same time, 9:20. And yeah, if you guys haven't already joined the Discord, I post all updates and all everything in there. Yeah, guys, like the video, subscribe, and that's it. That's the plan for next week. So quick update and have a good rest of your weekend. All right.